NFL season starts tomorrow night. Texans and Chiefs, the opener. NFL Sunday, of course, kicks things off with week 1 of the slate. I'll have the Red Zone channel going on one TV. I'll have the Jet game and the Bills going on the other screen. And football's back. I can't wait. So I'm going to the win totals for every team. And I'm going to pick out 5 win total props that I really like. All right. So these are either over or under. I'll get Ron's thoughts on these picks as we move along here in the segment. So I have 3 overs for you and 2 unders. Let me start with the overs that I like. My first over is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Over 9.5 wins. And I think this is a slam dunk. Tampa Bay last season went 7-9 with Jameis Winston playing quarterback. Tampa Bay last season turned the ball over 41 total times in 2019, including 30 interceptions from Jameis Winston. In Tom Brady's career now in Tampa, he has never thrown more than 14 interceptions in a single season. So by accident, Brady takes care of the ball. Tampa Bay, to me, wins at least an extra game or 2 based off of that fact. Now let's factor in some of the other things. Improved offensive line. Improved running game with Leonard Fournette and LaShawn McCoy. Second year in Todd Bowles' defense, a defense that is already underrated to begin with. I don't see how the Bucs, with Brady coming on board, Gronk being in that offense, the additions they made up front, I don't know how the Tampa Bay Bucs don't win more than 10 games. So over under 9.5, I'm betting the over on the Bucs this upcoming season. Agree or disagree, Ron Cover on the Bucs?
Yeah, no, I think 9.5 is a good number for them.
Over under. When you to it. Over under.
I know you have it at the half because I would have said 9-7.
Over under.
So I think I'm going to go under.
You're going under.
I think I'm going to go. I think they're going to go 9-7. I do think. Well, God, I don't know.
They went 7-9 last year.
I know they went 7-9 last year with a Jameis Winston who went 30 for 30.
1 turnover.
Yeah,
and Brady is not turning the ball over more than 10 times all season.
And you know we got to think Jameis Winston went 30 for 30, which is pretty impressive.
Over. Just say it, Ron, over.
I think over, but I think it's only at 10.
Okay, 10-6 is a winning bet.
10-6.
My next over here, Packers over 8.5. Listen, do I think the Packers were 13-3 good last year? No. But 8.5 feels way too low for a team that still did win 13 games with a first-year head coach. Now, Matt LaFleur in his second year working with Aaron Rodgers. You have a highly motivated Aaron Rodgers after his own team drafted a quarterback in the first round. I like Rodgers as a MVP long shot bet, but from a team standpoint, Packers over 8.5 to me feels like another slam dunk. I think they're at least a 9-win football team. Maybe they don't go 13-3, but can they go 10-6 with Aaron Rodgers, assuming he's healthy? Hell yeah. Packers over 8.5, my second bet. Agree or disagree, Ron Cover?
Agree. I think they're better than the Vikings. They're definitely better than the Lions and Bears. So if you look at it that way, that's potentially 6 wins right there.
I think the Bears are taking a step back, more on them coming up. I think the Lions
with the Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah, we'll talk more about that. The Lions are still the Lions.
Yeah, and I mean the Packers, I'm looking at their schedule right now. They play the Colts. I don't know. And they're playing the Colts. Well, that's not until November. Maybe they'll have it figured out by then. But they have the Panthers on their schedule. They have the Falcons. They have a lot of teams or Jaguars. That was the one I saw. They have a lot of teams with huge question marks. I think 8 over, what was it? Over 8?
The Green Bay Packers are
over 8.5. Yeah.
8.5.
Yeah.
Going over with the Packers.
Easy. They're a double-digit win team this year.
So Ron and I agree so far on my 2 overs. All right, final over, and then we'll get the 2 unders I have. This is my favorite bet. And you might say, Jake, are you serious? This is my favorite bet of the win totals that you could wager on. It's right here in town. Houston Texans over 7.5. Say whatever you want about Bill O'Brien, the GM, but don't let Bill O'Brien, the GM, take away from the fact that Bill O'Brien, the head coach, is an above-average NFL head coach. He is. That's a fact. O'Brien has had only one losing season as the head coach of the Texans, and that was Watson's rookie year when Deshaun tore his ACL after only playing 6 games. Bill O'Brien went 9-7 with the likes of Brock Osweiler, Brian Hoyer, Case Keenum, Ryan Fitzpatrick, all playing quarterback. In the last 2 full seasons with Deshaun Watson, they went 11-5 in 2018, and last year they went 10-6. I don't care about the Hopkins trade. Do I think that was a good trade? Absolutely not. Do I think DeAndre Hopkins is going to take the Texans from a 10-win team last year to a team that wins less than 8 games? I do not. Bill O'Brien is not a great GM. I think we all can agree on that. But the Texans' offensive line is improved. They have enough weapons on the outside with Deshaun to make up for Hopkins' production to a certain extent. Their defense should be better this year than it was last year. I don't think the Texans are that much worse than the team that went 10-6 last year. So the Texans over 7.5 is my favorite bet. I think at the minimum, they're 8-8, 9-7, because that's what Bill O'Brien does. He doesn't win your big playoff games, but he does get you to the playoffs at 9-7 or 10-6 or 11-5. He's had one losing season, and that was the year Watson tore his ACL after 6 games as a rookie. Texans over 7.5, my favorite bet of the season.
I'm going to agree with you because I was looking at their schedule just now, and I think and it's funny, this is how I'm going to say this, preface this. I think the Texans will be lucky if they start off 1-3 for the first 4 games of the year. They got a tough schedule coming out just right off the bat. And I think if they go 1-3, they're definitely hitting the 8-9 mark.
Bill O'Brien just finds a way.
Yeah, because the 1-3, their first 4 games, they're on the road to the Chiefs, they're at home against the Ravens, they're on the road to Pittsburgh, and then they're at home against the Vikings. I think they can steal a win out of somewhere, out of one of those games. I don't think they're getting by the Chiefs or Ravens. So
the Texans 2 years ago started 0-3, and they ended up going 11-5.
Yeah. Because, I mean, they have the Jaguars twice. There's 2 wins right there. They're playing the Bears. They're playing the Browns. They're hosting the Patriots. One thing we know about Bill O'Brien, for whatever reason in God's magic box, the Texans are able to beat the Patriots in the regular season. I don't know why that is.
The Texans' first 4 games that you mentioned are brutal. If they stay afloat early.
If they go 1-3.
1-3, or even somehow go 2-2.
Yeah.
Split between Kansas City tomorrow and Baltimore next week. And Pittsburgh and Minnesota the following 2 games after that. If they could split the first 4, they're smashing over 7.5.
Yeah, easy. That's why I'm saying if they go 1-3, they're getting to at least 8-9 wins.
So Texans over 7.5, my favorite bet that I'm going to give you here in the segment. Now 2 unders. I mentioned one of them. We kind of teased it. Chicago Bears under 8. This was an 8-win football team last year. I just don't believe in the quarterback situation. I don't believe in Nick Foles. I felt the move to make for the Bears with the most upside would have been bringing in Cam Newton on a 1-year deal and just seeing what you have there. This, to me, is just a tough division with Green Bay and Minnesota. I think the Lions are actually going to be a little better than people give them credit for. I just don't think the Bears are good enough to win more than 8 games. I think they were an 8-win football team last year. I think they'll be around that this year. I think they're probably 7-9. I don't believe in Foles, and I don't obviously believe in Mitch Trubisky. So I just think the Bears are a good team, but they're not good enough to overcome their issues at the most important position in all of sports. I go under 8 for Chicago.
I think this is better than the Texans bet, actually.
You like this one better?
I like this one better. I'm seeing this team as a 5 or 6 win team. They're a top 10 draft pick heading into 2021.
It could be a quarterback they take next year.
Maybe.
Could be. All right, final play here, Ron.
I do not like this one.
It's going to involve your team.
No, I don't. We could skip it. It's time to go to. It's time to take a. We got to pay some bills. We got to. What are all the jargons to say? We have to step aside real quick.
We don't actually. We have a couple minutes left in the segment. Just in time to talk about the San Diego Chargers who play in Los Angeles. Chargers over under is 8. Ron, I'm sorry to do this to you.
Yeah, I saw what you wrote.
I like the Chargers under 8, and here's the reasoning. Already dealing with some key injuries. Derwin James on defense. Mike Williams at receiver. I think the division around them in the AFC West has improved. I think the Raiders are better than they were last year, and they won 7 games last year. I don't know about you, Ron, but I buy into Denver being better than 7-9 like they were last year. So I just look at the Chargers, and they have a ton of talent, but I don't love Tyrod Taylor. I think he's average at best. And I know at some point they're going to play Justin Herbert. He's going to get a bunch of starts because history tells you take a quarterback in the top 10, they play at least 8 games their rookie season. So there's going to be clear growing pains when they make the transition to Justin Herbert. So I just think you look at this Chargers team. Are they talented? Yeah. Do they have a really good defense? Yes. But there's going to be growing pains at the quarterback spot when they eventually go to Justin Herbert. And I don't see this team winning more than 8 games. So they're over-under set at 8. I think they're a 7-win football team. I go under on the Chargers win total. This was a 5-11 team a year ago. I think they're going to be a little better this year if everything goes right. But things are already going a little haywire with these injuries. And I've watched a lot of Tyrod Taylor in my life because he used to play for the Bills in the AFC East. I just think he's a game manager at best. And when they go to Herbert, which will be the right move, he's going to struggle a bit without a preseason, without OTAs. They got to get him reps. And I think the Chargers under 8 is a safe play here. You're the Charger fan. Am I wrong with my take?
No, and here's the reason why. I hate to admit this. With Phillip Rivers last year and a healthy receiving core the last 2 seasons, the Chargers, I think over the 2 seasons, they might have set an NFL record. I don't know these facts or the stats off the top of my head, but they might have set an NFL record with the closest game losses in NFL history because they were within 7 in almost every single game that they lost. And I think they were within 7 with every single game that they won as well. Phillip Rivers is gone. So you have a new era of running coming in there. Melvin Gordon is gone. I mean, I think Austin Eckler is better, but still, that's a lot of pressure to put on a young kid. I'm reluctant to say that, 8 wins under, but I think this is a rebuilding season for them.
Here's how I look at it. Ask yourself this question. Do you see Tyrod Taylor playing all 16 games?
No, see, that's the issue.
And if you don't, when they go to a rookie quarterback, there's going to be some mistakes.
What I almost hope for a Troy Aikman first year with the Cowboys type season.
1-15?
Yeah, why not? If you're gonna go for it, let him get his bucks now. When you're
actually watching these games, you're gonna want them to win, not go 1-15.
I'm just thinking of draft picks.
When you see Herbert play, you want him to go out there and win games for you. But the problem is he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes. I've seen this. We all have seen rookie quarterbacks come in, show some flashes, but also have games where they throw a bunch of picks and make mistakes. That's going to happen, which is why I go under on 8 wins for the Chargers. So real quick to recap here, then we got to get to a break. Bucks over 9.5. Packers over 8.5. Texans, my favorite bet, over 7.5. Bears under 8 and Chargers under 8. Those are 5 win totals I like for the 2020 NFL season.